All right, let's dive into the absolute action powerhouse that is Skanda, the attacker. We're talking about a story that's got it all: massive corruption, a truly twisted conspiracy, and one guy's fight to make things right, no matter the cost.
So the film throws us right into the deep end. I mean, the absolute climax. You've got this beloved tech billionaire, Rudra Prakash Ramkrishna Rao, on the stand, and boom, he confesses to some truly terrible crimes and gets sentenced to death.
But hold on. That's the big question, right? It makes absolutely no sense. Why would a guy who's basically a national treasure suddenly stand up and say, "Yep, I'm a monster"? Something is seriously wrong here, and we are going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, so to really unpack what's going on, we're going to break this down into 5 parts. First, how a Titan gets framed. Then, the sinister deal behind it all. Next up, a son's wild plan for payback. After that, how the tables get turned. And finally, the fight for a friend's justice.
So, first things first, let's look at how they took this celebrated industrialist and just completely destroyed his public image.
And look, the official story they cooked up is just insane. They paint this guy Rao as a monster. First, they accuse him of harassing female employees. Then, they frame him for a huge drug bust at his own company. And as if that's not enough, he supposedly confesses to murdering 25 people to cover his tracks. It's a total takedown.
But here's the heartbreaking twist. That confession, it was completely forced. It wasn't him admitting guilt at all. No, it was a father trying to save his child. See, the real villains put his daughter in a coma, and they threatened to kill her unless he took the fall for everything.
So you have to ask yourself, who on earth would be powerful enough and ruthless enough to pull something like this off? Well, the answer goes all the way to the top.
Meet our real villains, a couple of corrupt chief ministers, Rothord and Rain. They're partners, and they have a big, big problem. They're sitting on a mountain of illegal cash. We're talking 5 lakh crores, and they need to launder it fast.
So their political advisor comes up with this diabolical solution. He says, look, you need the perfect cover. You need a guy so respected, so squeaky clean, that nobody would ever dream his company could be a front for a massive money laundering operation. And who's the perfect target? Yup, Ram Krishna Rao.
And their plan is just brutal. They don't just want to seize his company. They want to systematically destroy his entire reputation, so there's absolutely no way he can ever fight back.
So at this point, things look pretty hopeless, right? Rao is locked up, his name is Mud, and his daughter's life is hanging by a thread. But a promise between 2 old friends is about to change everything. A storm is coming.
And that's when this new guy shows up. He's a college student, seems kind of goofy, but he starts causing trouble for the daughters of both chief ministers. But it turns out he's also an absolute beast of a fighter, and he starts tearing down the CM's operations one by one. So, who is this guy?
Well, it all comes down to loyalty. He's not just some random vigilante. He is the son of Rao's best friend, and he's here to fulfill a promise his father made, a promise to protect Rao's family no matter what it takes.
And his plan is just, wow, it's incredibly bold. Step 1. He poses as a normal college kid to get close to both of the CMS's daughters. Step 2, get this, he crashes a party and kidnaps both of them in public. And step 3, he uses them as bait to lure their powerful dads right into his trap.
And it works like a charm. The 2 chief ministers are furious. They're so arrogant, they think they can just roll in and crush him. So they walk right into his territory, and that's when the hunter becomes the hunted.
See, this battle isn't happening in the city, where they have all the power. Oh no, it's happening on his home turf, a village called Rudra Rajapuram. And out here, their political clout, their crooked cops, their hired killers, it all means nothing. Here, he calls the shots.
So the CMS just throw the kitchen sink at him. Commandos, assassins, elite police squads, you name it. And what happens? He takes them all on single-handedly and just tears them apart. It's awesome. It really proves that one determined person is more powerful than 2 corrupt armies.
Okay, so this all builds up to the final confrontation. And this isn't just about beating up the bad guys. The real goal is to get justice, to clear an innocent man's name for good.
And here is where it gets really good. The tables have completely 100% turned. The very same guys who threatened Rao's daughter to get a fake confession,
Now, their daughters' lives are on the line, and they're the ones being forced to confess everything on camera.
And there you have it. The whole thing comes crashing down. They spill everything, the frame-up, the laundering, the murders, the whole shebang. And it's all broadcast for the world to see.
So, with that confession out in the open, justice is served. Rao is exonerated and walks free. His reputation is restored. And that promise? That promise is fulfilled in the most epic way possible.
You know, the film leaves you with a really powerful question. When you strip away all the insane action, at its heart, this is a story about how far someone will go to keep a promise. It really makes you think, doesn't it? For the people you care about, how far would you go?